And welcome back to Music Free Gaming. I hope you're having a fabulous day. And hey, let's be green today because that seems like a thing to do. Anyway, welcome back to Music Free Gaming. I hope you're having a fabulous day. It's Saturday. I'm slightly confused. It happens. I got thinking, and thinking always confuses me. So let's get into something that won't involve as much thinking, right? Let's jump over into Minecraft and my new storage room, which is dark. I think I want to do something about that too. But well, that's okay. I actually have an idea for that, maybe. Perhaps. Kinda? I don't know. One thing I do know that I want to do is I want to start getting the storage all sort of set up and stuff. I want to get all of my bulk storage in place, be sure I know where all of the redstone is going to go. I need to start thinking about what's happening back here because, yeah, at some point the copper golem is going to show up, probably in a month, and I want to be ready for that. Man, excuse me. Okay, so we are going to be placing crazy amounts of boxes and hoppers and all of that stuff today, so it's going to be a special breed of fun. I will tell you for surezies. But one thing we're going to have to do is craft crazy amounts of chests. Okay? That's just going to be part of what has to happen today. Not slabs. Do not craft the slabs. Slabs are not going to be helpful here. All right. Jeez, only 2 stacks of chests out of 4 stacks of logs. So hopefully this is going to be enough. We'll find out. But okay, so this side is all doubled up. The bulk storage, in some ways, is going to be the easiest to deal with because that's going to be just standard things. Okay. All right. I have another shulker box here. Let's potentially use that. Maybe not right away, but let's see, where are we starting? Over here. Cool. Well, if the iron farm do its thing, I still have like 2 stacks or more of iron blocks over in the temp base, so we may be playing with that too, but let's go ahead and craft up. That's seems like a reasonable number of hoppers. It's not. 100% it's not, but let's figure out some of this anyway. Oh, I should go get some black terracotta, but I guess that can wait a little bit. Just a little bit. It'll be fine. It will. All right. So let's hop up here for a sec. All right, so basically we're definitely going to be having stuff go in through here. And I think I don't have smooth stone on me. Okay. See, there they are. I was kind of wondering what I might end up seeing a few pillagers. See, whoa. Pillagers would have been just fine to have in the iron farm, but that's not where we ended up. Anyway, stone. Let's grab some smooth stone. I also have smooth stone cooking in here in case I need more, but actually, let's actually do that. I think we can make this happen. Oh, of course, I would have to actually remove the stone so this will cook, but all right. Cool. All right, so I don't think I'm going to need quite this much. That's spruce box. So we'll leave a little bit of this behind, but if I need it, it's here, and we've got some more cooking, which is great. All right, so let's get back inside, and I don't know that I'm going to do all of the redstone yet, but let's figure out where it's going to go. Because, you know, that would be helpful. Oh, right, I was going to get the black terracotta. Well, fine. We'll get there the fast way. Terracotta. Black. All right. 100% that's not going to be enough, but it will be enough to lay out a couple of things anyway. So, basically what I'm going to need... Honestly, I should probably deal with this first. Yeah, okay. Because we've got a couple of things here, but I think we're gonna be okay, perhaps. Just a matter of where everything is flowing and stuff. All right, so let's see now. All right. Now, I do have room back here, so I could actually drop the redstone below it. Right, so that I could use the space here, not go all the way up to the top. Should be okay, but... Ooh, how did you get up there? I guess he walked. Well, that's unfortunate. Silly pillagers in there walking. Oh, man. Getting all those health benefits. I don't know what's wrong with them, but that's just silly. All right. So, basically, let's figure out how this is going to go. Right, so I could, you know, because I only have 5 blocks here. So yeah, so if I'm going to drop this down back behind this, which I think would make some sense. Let's do this. That goes like that. Then what I could do is come back behind it. Oops. You know, that was a very solid thud for barely touching it. Okay. That's a hopper. 2, 3, down, down, and down. Okay. I mean, that works. And if I put these guys up that way, that would be fine. Actually, that would actually work out fairly well, I think. So, cool. The only drawback is where the heck the water is flowing. All right, so let's figure out where this is, and I may have to move this. So, so now, as far as this goes, I was just looking at this earlier. So what I would need to do is build up. Yeah, I'm going to have to build up the sorting system. Let's, at least as far as it can go without actually having iron golems in it. Or copper golems in it. Iron golems won't help anything. That would just be silliness. We need the copper. All right. So, the plan. So the copper golem is a... I was going to say, it's a small mob. I think it's at least 1/10 of a block too tall. And you might be saying, that's a very specific height requirement. Yeah. they were adjusting the heights of the copper golem to deal with some weirdness, with some pathfinding, and they made the copper golem 1.01 block too high, or 1.01 blocks high, I guess I should say, which is taller than 1 block, it turns out, which is a problem. Because being more than a block tall, it screws with all of the sizing and things. But all right, so the way I'm kind of wanting to do this is if I go, let's say I go, how did it go? I think it went like this. And then, you know, this isn't that hard. It really isn't. All right. Hang on a sec. You know, I should have like taken a picture or something. All right, hang on. We're gonna deal with this. Minecraft. Yep, we're gonna launch Minecraft while playing Minecraft because I can't get enough Minecraft in my Minecraft, so we're Minecrafting. Yes, let's play. So it's 49 seconds since my last, you know. We'll get there. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be great. It's just, all you happy Twitch people who got an ad and can't see this. All right. We're going to go back and forth a little bit, but I want to see. Come on. This is the beta. All right. So this is what this looks like. Kind of. I can't see it. Hang on. Right. Those go into the block and not into the thing. Okay. And we're comparing to the chest above it. All right. Wonderful. All right. So let's come back over here. Yep. I know what's going on. Totally. All right, so let's see if I can figure this out. You know, one of these days, I will put stuff where it's convenient. Today is not that day. All right, so this is probably not going to go here. All right, so I can't really go off this way because that redstone's going to conflict. So that's perfectly fine. So I think if this goes like that. Okay, the chest would go on top of it. Kind of like so. And there will be some stuff going this way as well, but we'll deal with that in a minute. So if I put this chest here, all right, so then we go there. This is a smaller thing. It goes like this. Okay. So this would go in here sort of like so, where we've got our comparator and our redstone dust. Right. The repeater drops in over this way. I'm facing the wrong way. Awesome. Well, this is going well. All right. Oh, and then obviously I would need a redstone torch. Righto. I got a few of those. Awesome. I don't know, and I'm actually fairly certain that I'm not going to be setting up all of the redstone for this today, but we're going to be doing some of it, and that's okay. but I have to get some of the redstone in so I can see where everything is going to go, right? Now, the other side of this is we're going to have copper chests, or a copper chest right here. Okay. Obviously, that's not copper. That's fine. We'll deal with it not being copper. But what I'm going to have to do is get water into it. Yeah, I think this is going to be okay. So that's going to go that way. All of this is going to go here. So if we're running a water stream in, let's see. I guess I could come across this into the side here like that. Actually, I've got room. If I'm putting, whoop, falling. Okay, it's we're in for an early fall and a repeated fall and all the fall thing. Yeah. Also the sneezing, because that's a thing that's going to happen too. So I could put that there, or I could put the hoppers on top. It doesn't really matter. The only reason it would matter is if, well, the height's going to depend on this, because the water is going to have to flow through here and flow through that. So, but the water stream is actually going to stop at those hoppers. I've decided. So let me talk a little bit about how this is all going to work. Okay, it's going to be a fairly simple system. Okay, so over this way somewhere in this area, I'm going to have the item drop off. That's going to drop a bunch of stuff into water streams, okay? The water streams are going to, or the items are going to get popped up here. They're going to flow over this level of bulk storage, and then it's going to flow over this way, and then across this bulk storage over here. Okay, awesome. And then, or actually it might go that way and this way. Okay. Which actually would probably be a little bit easier. Anyway, in any case, it's going to flow across the bulk storage and then into this chest, which will be a copper chest when it all shows up. Okay. So from the copper chest, what'll happen is the copper golems will end up running back and forth, loading stuff in, right? He'll end up dropping it into the storage and back and around and all that stuff. However, copper golems are slow. So I think what I might need to do is give myself a little bit of a buffer to hold items, especially in this first thing. Because basically I can't, if I put in more than like 2 double chests full of stuff into the system, it'll all back up and potentially despawn, and that's not ideal. It's definitely a problem if I'm dealing with shulker boxes, where if I want to throw in a couple of dozen or a dozen shulker boxes, that's going to be a problem, right? Let's hang on. I need to go get some white concrete. Okay, he's there. I think they're all gone now. Now, I happen to have a fair amount of white concrete, which is good, right? White concrete is fun. Just like running across the tops of these guys. It's fun. All right. So, what we're going to do, let me hop up on top of the reactor here for a minute. Okay, so the way this is all going to work is we're going to have some flavor of floor coming out this way, okay? So, oh, nope. It is... That floor is dangerous. Let's fix that. Okay, so... Floor will happen here. Okay, great. So... all of the water streams are going to have to come in underneath this. And that means whatever's happening with this chest here, it's going to have to be underneath that as well. Okay? All right. Good. So that's going to be... this is going to be our guide. All right? We can't go any higher than that. So I think what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and get a couple of layers of chests happening here. Okay. Again, this is going to be for the buffer. Now, if we go across this, I guess I could drop it into a bubble vader. As long as we're still back behind here, I can change out that black terracotta for soul sand or something. So I don't have to leave it the black terracotta. It has to be black terracotta, or should be black terracotta, in any place that's walkable, right? So if I'm over here in my storage system, this should all be black terracotta, and that's all I should be able to see. Okay, does that make sense? Excuse me, I hope it makes sense. At some point in this world, sense will be made, and all right. Okay, so what I could do is I could come across the top of this, bubble up, and then go into hoppers up here. Okay, so if I'm going to do that, then pretty much I'm going to have to come into that. Okay, which is fine. So sorry, I was just thinking, and you know how thinking goes. You get confused and stuff. And your mind changes. I like this dropping down chunk, 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 chunk. So it's moving the items at 2 hopper speed and not 1 hopper speed. Okay. But I was also thinking that it might be good. I might be able to get water over both of those. That's a possibility, okay? How solid a possibility, I don't know. We'll have to play with that. But it's definitely a thing that could happen. Right? I like it when things could happen. All right. So... all right, so hang on. So let's bring... this is going to come across this way. All right. I don't have green terracotta on me, but that's fine. So this would have to go this way. Water stream would swing around on top of this, which is okay. Preferably someplace that's not drippy. So what I might want to do, and I think I could do it. I think I could pop this up 1 more block. Okay, which if I do that, obviously this system comes up a block. We're not clipping anything, and I am potentially pushing redstone signal into this block, which is not ideal. So I think we can do this. As long as I don't run the, or as long as I run the water over something that's multi-level, so I'm not drippy. Right, if I run I wouldn't want to run water over this, for example, because then we would get water drips coming under there. All right, so I really do think I want to try to kick this up one notch. But if I do, it becomes, this might become a problem. Because yeah, when this, so basically what would happen with this would be here. We would potentially have a redstone line coming up right to there, which then leads into this block, which I can't have it power that block. Okay. So I could have it power this block, however, because that wouldn't be a problem. So if I were to bring this in this way, which means that would come up like that. Right, we'd be here sort of like this. Okay, and then, oh, hang on. Hang on, I know what's happening. I totally do. Absolutely. Stuff is happening. The only problem is that would lock this hopper. That wouldn't be great. All right. Okay, so as I'm looking at this, I think this actually is going to be the best option. Okay, it's just going to be a little bit weird, and that's fine. Weirdness happens. We'll just have to deal with it, right? But we would have, this would go here, right? That's, you know, don't have anything connecting to the redstone there that would be causing bleed over or anything like that. All right. We don't have signal leakage, right? There's certain leakage you want. That is definitely not it. I guess there's a potential for, no, it won't. There's no quasi of any sort here. Even if we get redstone powering this block, which we would coming from here, it won't light up that repeater or anything like that. So we're going to be okay there, I think. And then if we get water coming up, if we get water flowing across here, okay. Yeah, so the water would flow across here. And then yeah, I also need to be sure I don't have to place ice blocks here. So I really do. I mean, I can move all of this up a block, okay? That would be fine. It's not horrible. This is why we're doing testing now, right? It means I wouldn't have as much of a buffer, but that's okay. I mean, this would be 2 double chests. Yeah, we might be able to make this happen. Not entirely sure how, but somehow it could happen. All right, so cool. So yeah, so this is going to have to move up a block because this is all going to have to move up a block. All right, cool. Awesome. So let's move it. A wise man once said, I like to move it. So let's move it. All right, so that's going to go there. That would go like so. This comes out. Okay, that goes like that. All right. All right, hang on. We'll just tear it all out. So this goes like so. Okay. All right, now we will just climb the happy scaffolding of happy, happy, joy, joy. Because, you know, who doesn't like scaffolding of happy, happy, joy, joy? And, you know, I think the world needs more happy, happy, joy, joy in their life, right? Right. Totally. Totally and completely. Yeah, that's how that works. Anyway, so this is going to come in this way. So we'll have a chest here. Okay. We bring down our little sorter coming this way. All right, and then did I build it too close? Suddenly things aren't lining up. What the heck? Yes, I definitely built it too close to something. All right. So that goes there. Yeah, this is going to have to back up one. Cool. Cool. All right. Yeah. Yeah, so this would back up this way. Okay. And then this goes away, that goes away. Go on to there. Okay. We know what's going on. We're full of knowing things. And just because I know, that means it must sing. Or something. I don't know. I don't know what happens in my mind when things happen. It's just confusing. However, we'll make it work, and it'll be fine, and maybe we'll make it work with or without the singing. Probably with. Let's be honest. The with singing is going to happen, but I'll try to keep it down, right? Sure. Okay, so that goes other. Right, and then all of this is going to have to shift. So, right, because then what we end up having here is copper chest is going to go there. All right. Let's get all of this out of the way. Oops. Okay, copper chest goeth thusly. All right. But obviously, that's not copper. But it will be copper at some point in the future, and that is okay. All right. You know, darkness is coming. I should probably sleep. All right, so that's going to happen there. Cool. Right, which then means we get some double chests and all that goodness. Okay, so hoppers go on the back side of the thing. Right? The back side of hoppers. All right, but that means that's pretty much what we've got. We've got 2 chests full of stuff. Okay, so that's going to put a limit on how fast we can do this. Now, I don't have to do water. I have to drink it. Okay, obviously, drinking water. That's something you should do for general healthiness. But I don't have to do this as water streams. And if I do as a hopper chain going around, that will keep things from backing up. It's going to be a lot slower to load. On the other hand, I'm going to be sorting it with copper golems. Speed is not going to be a thing that I have to worry about here. So yeah, maybe what I do then. Okay. Yeah, it would be slower. It would be hecka slower, actually. Um, so the question, oh, man. All right, so let's move this up because it is going to have to be up, right? Those stone blocks. That's where the oops, that's not a hopper. That's where the water channel is going to be. Okay, the water is going to be sitting on top of that smooth stone. Okay, which is fine. All right, let's go and take this off. Yeah, this is the one part of the system that I can actually get functioning today, potentially. At least in a metaphorical sense of today. Not necessarily today in the sense of I will actually get it done by the end of stream. I mean, I could potentially, but yeah. All right, so that would go there. So now we bring our sorting system filter out this way. Okay, right. Oh, I need a repeater on that. Okay. Okay. He's fine. Okay. So the repeater's in there. Awesome. So this is going to come down like so. And then we do the things, right? So that goes there. We get our dust. Right? Comes down that way. This goes there and there. We drop a repeater there, and we drop a torch there. Okay. Right, and that locks this, and everything else is fine. Okay, so water is going to be coming, if I decide to actually keep it water, which at the moment I'm wishy-washy on, because if you're going to be wishy-washy on anything, water would be the thing to be wishy-washy on. Okay? So yes, we're gonna wish on our water, and it's gonna be fine. Right? Sure. All of the wishy and washiness is gonna happen here. Okay, so if water comes here, I could put this into all right, so here's what I could do. I could take it into droppers and actually just put a little dropper vader going up this way. I could bubble column up this way. Bubble column would be probably easier, actually. And I've got room for it. Also, having the copper... Actually, this is going to work even better, because what I want to do is I'm going to be pulling signal off of these. I've got these facing the wrong way. That one's facing the correct way. This one would have to turn. Because you need to pull signal off the left-hand side of the chest. Right, so left-hand side of the chest would go like so. Okay. Trust me, it's just a weird Minecraftian thing. Okay. But if this has stuff in it, then I can pop this over like so, right? Or I could some way. Anyway, I could power this line, and basically a line going all the way around the reactor. so that it turns on when there's stuff in this chest. Okay. Also, I'm going to have another one of those over here, and over here, and over here, and over here, and over here. So all of those are going to run over into the power line for the reactor. So this, I think, is going to work out pretty well. Okay. So we'll deal with that, but I think that's going to be the idea. And so having this chest up at this level, actually kind of convenient. All right. So now it's just a matter of getting the items as they come through here up into this. Okay, which is going to be fine. Yeah. At this point, then yeah, I can take... Sorry, I had a thought, and I'm not entirely sure what to make of it. So it would be really handy if I could get the items to flow over both of these hoppers. But I'm going from a single flow this way into a double flow coming up here, or would hope would be. So, yeah, that's going to be... That's going to be doable. Okay, I think I see how to do this. So we would have to come this way. We would have a chest. Oops. Hang on. We would have a chest sitting here. Okay. And remember, items are going to be flowing over tops of these. So they're going to be sitting here. We'll flow this way. And then I could put 2 bubble columns. Yeah. I gotta be sure I do this in a way that I don't end up eating my redstone, because that would be bad. But I think we can do that. So it would just have to come up right, yeah, right here, because this is all going to have to be solid. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be... I'm a little bit worried that stuff is going to get caught underneath those hoppers. Actually, I'm 100% worried stuff's going to get caught underneath those hoppers. Because, yeah, it's just going to be a... That's going to be a problem. So, cool. Yeah, because the stuff will hit the bubble column and flow up. But we'll still have a little bit of momentum going this way, so... Yeah, I could see them flowing up and getting caught under those hoppers, and that would be not great. Okay, I mean, I said I could... If I drop it down, I lose 1 level of buffering. Okay, and that's what I'm trying to do here, is have at least some item buffer here, so I can throw in a couple of shulker boxes of things that aren't going into bulk storage, and will all end up over here. Okay. Right, because if I have if I have shulker boxes full of oak and birch and all of that stuff, okay, lights, okay, then oak and birch and different types of decorative blocks and things like that, they're not going to go into the bulk storage. So I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to go into the bulk storage. That's just... It is just what it is. So I think what I'm going to have to do, I think I'm going to have to forego the water idea. As nice as it would be, okay? And it would be nice. If I forego the bulk storage, I could move this back down. Just use an item elevator. Yeah, I could oh, that might be an idea. I could use an item elevator to push things up into chests up here. And the nice thing is, no, the item elevator would fill up this way. But if all of the droppers got full coming up here, there would be a problem. So, but if I do it, if I don't do water and just do hoppers, it's a little bit annoying, but I really only need hoppers from the item drop off. This is all going to be hoppers anyway. Really, the only extra hoppers are across the top and around and over this way. And if I do it that way, then I don't have to worry about backing up the storage at all. It will just go at the speed of iron golems, basically, which are slower than hoppers. Okay. So, yeah, this is going to be the world's slowest sorting system, but I think that's going to be okay. Items will bunch up a little bit here in this chest as things flow through, but nothing will actually back up. So, yeah, so we'll run... I'd have to run hoppers like this way. And we got ourselves a kablooey here. Hey, Civil. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for those bits. Hope you're having a fabulous day. Yeah, so the only catch is... Oh, no. Yeah, the only catch is, so if this goes this way... Yeah. Whoa. Okay, I'm gonna fall. Falling is good. Yeah, so I'm laying out the redstone for my new storage system. A lot of it's not gonna actually work until I can get the copper golem in, but getting started on it here anyway. Because I actually would like to... I'd like to actually build out the storage room, you know, and start moving in, even without the sorting system. It's gonna be great. Okay, anyway, so if that would go this way, yeah, the problem I would run into is, okay, that hopper would go there, and then we would be running off this. Okay. Right, so this would go, obviously that block is just temporary, but it's also locked, which is cool. Convenient that. All right. So this would come out like so. And again, we've got the problem with it powering this block. All right. Well, cheese monkeys. So if I do that, oh man. What this means... All right, so I know it's a mess back here. It's a mess. It's fine. We're prototyping. It's gonna be totally fine. All right, so at this point, that's not going to work. So what I'm gonna have to do, because this is too close. This side's not going to matter, but this one is absolutely going to matter. So Oh, here's an idea. All right, so let's say this is stone, right? Let's say I take and make these two the same item. If those are the same item, I don't have to put a filter on this side. I'm only putting a filter on this one, say right here. Oops, right, you go there, and you go there. Okay, right, this comes out this way. Right, 1, 2, yeah, 3, like so. Okay. I don't think this will lock that hop or that repeater because you have to use repeaters to lock repeaters, I think. All right, so then, yes, okay. That could work. So items would then flow into this one and then that one. Okay, that would work. So this would come out. Hi, you know, it helps if you click in the right place. I know, it's strange like that, but true. Minecraft works so much better when you click in the right place. Okay, but if I take that out. Okay, so that would go like so. Repeater goes there, that comes down this way. Does it come down that way? Where am I at? I don't know where I'm at. Welcome to Lost in My Own Redstone. Brought to you today by all of my wonderful supporters at musicfreegaming.com. Okay. All right, so other than the fact I had everything in the wrong place, this is working out great. And I'm going to have so much random garbage in this chest, it's going to be wonderful. Anyway, so that goes like so. Like that, and it makes everyone happy. Okay, and then this goes right. That. Yep. All right, and then. Right, and then we comparator off of. Oops, comparator. Hi, I would like to compare, please. Thank you. Okay, I think this is going to be okay. Like, if I power this... Okay, which... Here, we'll just... Woo! Okay, you know, like you do. Alright, so if we power this... Is that... Oh, that doesn't have power. Doesn't matter, we'll just... Okay, that gets powered. Right, nothing's happening to this repeater. It's not locking. Okay, we're fine. All right. Well, that's handy. All right, and then what I can do is I have to have, obviously, hoppers under this. Or a hopper under that. I can then take a double chest here like this. And then... hopper like that. So that one filter, not that way. That one filter will feed both of these chests and should fill up this one first and then this one. But if it fills up the other one first, it's okay. You know, it doesn't really matter because it will fill up both of those. And I won't be causing problems over here. Okay. All right. That will work. That will work. So I just have to be sure that whatever I put into this system here has to be something that I want to store 2 stacks of. And that's going to be easy, right? I could easily do that with something like stone, right? Stone is something that I will often end up with lots of. Okay, and then repeaters go across like that. Okay, and then I just cap all of these off so they don't, so they're not ticking quite so much. All right, yeah, and this is cool. I'm glad you don't have to use anything anymore. Actually, you don't have to use composters and stuff for that anymore. Okay, and then this all comes out. All right. Yeah, so we just run this across like so, and we have a nice, fairly simple thing. It's just going to be slow, right? And that's perfectly fine. So I think what I'm going to do, I still want to be able to empty my inventory quickly. So when I put the unloading system here, yeah, I mean, there'll be a spot I can throw shulkers, but I may just I don't know. Just having a spot where I could just throw stuff in would be fine, I guess. Said slow, but if I have multiple chests that I can put stuff into to unload it, that would work out fine too. just a spot where I can unload lots of things and have it all show up into the storage eventually. Like I said, I'm building the world's slowest storage system, but it's okay. And so the way it's going to end up working here, let me just jump back over here. Right, so this is beta, right? This is the latest beta from this week. So the idea is we'll be loading things into a chest like this, right? And I can throw in some redstone, and I can throw in, what else do I have sorted here? Like some birch stairs and, right, stuff like that. And I think, oh, let's throw some glass in there too. Why not? Okay, so these little guys will pick the stuff up. They'll run it over to whatever chest they think it'll fit into. Okay, and it said it's slow because they have to look at every chest to say, hey, does this go here? I don't know. We'll find out. And then eventually the stuff will end up in the output chest. Okay. Which is fine. Just totally fine. So that's how that's going to work. So when I come back over here, back into the full release, that's what's happening up this way, is this is going to be the copper chest. Everything's going to flow this way. So now what I need to do is figure out how items are going to get out of the overflow chest and into the other copper chest. And that, I think I can make that happen. It's just going to be a little bit funky. And it might be funky because the iron golems, or the copper golems, are funky. All right. Because if they can make them, keep them 1 block tall or less than 1 block tall, this is going to work great. If they leave them what they are right now in the Java edition, where they're 1.01 blocks tall, that's going to be a problem. So I'm going to have to, we'll figure that out as it gets closer to release and what I'm going to have to do there. But yeah, this is going to be the idea, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Let's figure out the magic. All right. 1, 2. Right, so we're going to have these hoppers going here. All right, these chests are going to go here, and they do have to face this way. No. Oh, no, that's right, because they have to watch the left side of the chest. All right, so All right, so we're going to have them running this way. So I have 7 stacks of things that I'm sorting here. Okay. Oops, that's because that's not double. Okay. Why didn't that line up? It's because those are single chests and they need to be double chests. Okay. That's perfectly fine. All right. So those are going to go up that way, and then... All right, well... Something will happen. Something will totally happen. It's going to be a thing. It's going to be happening. This is going to be a happening place. With so many hoppers. Okay. So... Now what I could do is I could replace a couple of these hoppers. Like I could replace this hopper with a double chest. If this were to back up, for example, I'd still have this a little bit of extra storage happening back here, which is fine. The other thing I could do potentially, I don't know, we'll see, because obviously we're going to have all of this stone coming back off this way for the sorting systems. I was just thinking what I might be able to do is sneak a little shulker loader or something back here, but I don't think so. And this isn't bulk storage. This is multi-item categorized storage. So, so that's going to be fine. So I could take a double chest and just bring it this way, and it'll buffer in and buffer out and all of that stuff. So that's fine. If I find I'm needing that much storage space. But let's come back over here now. All right, so we're going to have this next round of storage happening here. Okay, great. Let's go make a couple more hoppers. And by a couple more, I mean like all the hoppers. Okay, iron farm is definitely working. This is ideal. This was sort of the idea, is that we get lots and lots of passive storage. Okay. All right, let's craft up some chests. Planks. Well, all right, fine. We're gonna have to do this in a couple of stages. Okay. All right, there we go. My inventory is, of course, a hot mess. It usually is, but today it's a hotter mess than usual, I guess. All right, so that should be fine. Let's go ahead and hopper up. Let's do that again. Okay. All right, so we've got a little iron here in case I need it. Cool. And this is not going to end up being the fastest sorting system in the West. I want to play with the copper golems. They're slow. If you want fast multi-item sorting, then you've just got to deal with real... go back and deal with all of those fun little redstone dealy-bobs. So, okay, so let's bring this across this way. All right. And now, hopper goeth there. All right. All right, so this gets to become, let's see, that and that, right? This is going to go this way again. The copper golems, or the redstone here reads from the left-hand side of the chest, so that's going to be what that is. Okay. The copper chest is going to go here. Okay. So what I need to do is have an overflow chest, which is going to sit probably... I think I can make... Oops. Come on. Come on. We can do it. I think the overflow chest is going to sit here. Okay. All right, and assuming I can keep the copper golems kind of where I need them to be. And here, let's... Okay, remember the floor is coming across at this height. Copper golems, they have a bad habit of wanting to try to hop on top of a chest, which is, even though I don't want it to happen, I would love the copper golems to run back and forth like here. Because there are some things you can do for access and traffic control and things like that. Unfortunately, I think that's just not going to happen because of some weird pathfinding bugs with the... I call them bugs. That might be the wrong word for it. But because of some weird pathfinding, it's best for the copper golems to be on top of the chests. And they should still be able to see this. Like, even if I were to block that off, so they can't get up and out and around and all of that stuff, should be okay. I hope. Alright, so that's basically going to be the idea. Is we're going to have the copper golems, you know, running on top of those chests, sorting all of the stuff, and it's just going to go all the way around the outside here. Okay, so if I take that same approach, right, chink, 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 the same thing over here, we'll load this up. Here, let's go ahead and, right, with all of our hoppers. Okay. All of the hoppers. Yep, that's right. We could totally hopper up. All right. That goes like so, which means our last sorted system goes here. All right, and then since I'm doing that mess, our overflow, right? If the copper golems can't find it and find anything anywhere to put a thing, it'll go into this, which will then get fed around into the rest of the system. Okay. Wonderful. That's great. All right, so then we can pull hoppers off of that and bring them back around to this side. Okay. Okay, so once again, hoppers go here on all of those chests because that just makes sense, right? Yes, no, sense is being made. I'm fairly certain. Okay. So because these are going to come up like so, this is going to come out in front of them, which means it's going to sit, oops, yeah, right. Yeah, right like this. Oh, one more. Yeah, right like there. Okay. Right like there, because that's how English works. Right like there. All right. So this would come out this way. All right. And I fall. Again, no good build is complete until you've fallen off of it a couple of times. All right. And then left-hand side. That's going to go there. All right. And then the sorting system goes off the side. I will have like 3 more blocks that way, but because it's the small sorter and it's not the full size, well, it's just 1 block smaller than the Impulse SV sorter, so. Okay. Anyway, so that's the idea, is all of this is going to run across here. The copper golems will run across there too, because that's just what copper golems do. Ack. Yep. No, we're full of acking. It's like the Aki Aki Festival, but without the E's, just ack. You know, I did a podcast this morning. I talked about Star Wars. I have Star Wars on the brain. It happens. Okay. Anyway, so this is going to go here. Right, that'll be the copper chest. Actually, stop that. Let's throw a couple of blocks under there just so it's a little bit more obvious what's going on. Okay, great. And then the last thing I want to do, I guess it's not the last thing I'm going to do, but a thing I'm going to do is just put that comparator there as well. Again, the plan is to pop this stuff out and feed into the sorting system. It no worky. Try exclamation point GIF. No, bye GIF. Hello? What? Why you no worky? You sad. He's so sad. Hang on. I don't want it to be sad. I want it to be working. Okay. Anyway, let's see. So, how you doing, Snoopers? Well, I know, right? What is... All right. All right, hang on. Let me find out. Did it just not see it? That's weird. Hang on. Hello. All right. And... Well, that's weird. All right. Okay, that side works. How weird. Your cat is loud and insistent. Ah, well, of course. Cats are there to stop sleeping, apparently. Wow. All right. All right, I'm going to have to go take a look at that. I upgraded StreamerBot to the 1.0 release, which came out this week. So maybe something screwed up. Anyway. So this is going to be the master plan. All right, so let's just swing this across this way. All right. And... Right. So, remember what I said about so many chests? Yeah. So many chests are happening here today. All right. Okay, and that's going to have to come out. All right. Cool. Yes. All right. Yeah, no, this is all going to make sense. Trust me, I am a YouTuber, and YouTubers are always right about everything. That's just how this works. I know, I've seen the internet. YouTubers have told me this. Okay. All right, so this is going to come this way. All right. Sweet. Emma, welcome. I'm glad you're an artist, but you get banned. All right. All right, so that's going to go this way. And then the sorting stuff all comes across like this. Right. Something along those lines. Actually, very much along those lines. All right. So that means I need to come in here and we need to sort this action out. So, right. Okay. So this is all going to come through like this. I'm going to need so many more hoppers. All right, hang on. This is why I have a bigger iron farm, so that I can have more hoppers. fortunately, I also have some iron saved up. Okay. No, this is fine. Open. Thank you. All right. All right, so let's craft up a zillion and a half more hoppers. That's not quite a zillion and a half, but it's fairly close. Okay. Okay. And then the other thing I do need to figure out is, okay, so this is going to go this way. That'll go like that. Oops. Hang on, I'm going to have to do that top row first, aren't I? So this is going to go across the top like this. And like this. And you got to pucker up your lips like this. All right, so somewhere in this row. Okay, well, we'll deal with that in a little bit, but that'll go this way. You ever have a moment when you realize you've just done something that's going to make your life so much harder? Yep, that's me. Hang on, I need stairs. Let's just do all of these because I'm going to need a lot of stairs. Hi, I would like to have all of your stairs, please. Thank you. Okay, so here's the problem I need to solve. What to do with these trapdoors? Right. Do I leave them spruce? Do I make them pale oak? Solid pale oak? Do we mix and match? Something there. Something there is going to have to change, and I don't know what it is. But hopefully. Hopefully it's something that makes sense. In any case, right, let's take this out. Okay, because I need to put these stairs in under here. Well, rat. What I might have to do here is use an axe, first of all. Okay, so that's going to have to go like that. That's not... Let's try this again, this time with the correct block. All right, so that's all going that way. This, yeah, my voice has decided to be weird. Hang on. Wow, I don't know what's happening to my voice, but that was just funky. Okay. No, we're good. Everything's wonderful. So that goes there. All right. Now we can put the hoppers in. Now the other thing I could do with these trap doors over here, you haven't tested your voice yet? Probably wise. I was fine during my podcast. Recorded that this morning. Talked about Return of the Jedi, so, you know, got fun Star Wars action going on. You don't think it's all there. That's fair. All right. Obviously, this is going to have to change somehow. But, yeah, because I don't want to see those hoppers. I want solid blocks here. Or at least solid trapdoors. And there just aren't that many of them. And I said, I think birch is going to be too yellow. But everything else, I'm just not... Dark oak was too... chocolatey. Oh no, I have no trouble talking about Star Wars. None at all. It's one of those things I'm pretty good at. Actually, you know what? Let's get through here. Let's get all of these. Let's get these stairs in place. Now, I had to talk about a thing. Said I'm a little bit ahead on my podcast. So it'll be not next week's podcast, but the one after that. And there's a bit in Return of the Jedi I just had to sort of sort out, so, or at least talk through and try to figure out what the heck. So that'll be fun. Actually, it was fun. I hope you all enjoy it when it comes out. All right. Until then, I need to get stairs in place. All right, because even without the sorting system, I can actually get in and just move in, you know? It's my podcast, sort of my therapy session. Some days. It is very much well, the podcast is very much I want to talk about this, but I get too distracted on stream. I know this, I'm sure, shocks all of you. I get really distracted on stream, and so it's hard to just talk about it. So, you know, this is an opportunity for me to just talk about stuff without worrying too much about, hey, I'm also having to play this game and respond to chat and do all that fun stuff. Okay. All right. Oh, hop. Oh, I'm definitely going to need the hoppers, though, so let's hang on to those. I like the rare times in streams where I get into a topic. I know, right? Oh, there are a few things. There are definitely a few things. I would love, honestly, I've been wanting to talk about what's happening with Mix It Up for months, but I have insider knowledge that I don't think I can share. And so that's, but in all honesty, I like talking about stuff. Stuff is cool. Okay, I'm done with the stairs, right? So let's go and drop those in. But yeah, it's just every once in a while, it's like, oh yeah, I really want to talk through this. And I know if I try to do it on stream, I'm never gonna finish anything. So, but all right, so let's see. All right, so let's go ahead and get through this. So we'll get all of the double chests in. Back. All right. Said I'm going to need 18 trillion hoppers back here, but it's fine. But yeah, I do like talking about stuff on stream. It's like, you know, let's talk about shows or whatever. You know, it's cool. You know, movies, music, just random Minecrafty goodness, right? Like, I am, like, for example, over here, this is what I'm going to be doing for the sorting system. Woohoo! So over here's the beta, and I'm going to be using these little guys. But for some silly reason, in this last release, the last beta, Moshe decided to make these guys just barely taller than 1 block. It's like, come on, man. It tries to get me to talk at length about something. Yeah, some of that is just, I get distracted. Oh, how did I switch worlds so fast? I have Minecraft open twice. That's how. As I just had this open, because I had to come take a look at what I was doing for the sorting system. Hey, Ashley, how's it going over there on Kick? Hope you're having a fabulous day. So yeah, so this is what I'm going to be using to sort. How do I have Minecraft open twice? Well, in this case, there are a couple of ways to do it. In this case, I have the beta open from the Minecraft launcher, and I've got the vanilla multiplayer opened up through Prism. And actually, Prism would let me open up the beta as well, but for some reason, when I went to play with it, it didn't have the latest snapshots, so I couldn't open it twice. But that's one of the reasons I like Prism is I can, here, let me show you. So here's the Prism launcher. Oops, it's behind my head. Here's the Prism launcher. And then I could just pick what world I want to play, hit launch, and it will launch it. So it's really cool. I'm doing all right, Ashy. I'm doing okay. Placing lots and lots of chests. So, but I like Prism for a number of reasons, but it does keep it, makes it easy for me to keep worlds separate. So I can, like if I have a modded world and a vanilla world, right? I don't have to worry about mixing and matching and doing weird things. Looks suspiciously like multi-MC. There's a reason for that. Is it forked off of a fork of multi-MC? So multi-MC was, it became poly-MC. Somebody forked it and added some features, which was great. But then that developer, I don't know, turned out to be a jerk in some way or other. I don't know. Yeah, you're not wrong, Snoopers. But he ended up being, he ticked off the community, and basically the community abandoned that project for Prism MC. And so, yeah. So we ended up with a whole separate fork, which is fine. And it actually works out really well. It makes it easy to download mods when I need to and things like that. Shaders and things like that. It's actually a really nice client for dealing with all of the Minecrafty fun. Okay. All right, so this is going to be my main storage, all done and dusted. Just once I get off the, which is weird because I hate dusting in real life. So dusting my storage here just seems silly. Okay. All right. So then what I need to do is go on the back of all of this and get all of the hoppers in place. Okay. So yeah, it's going all right. Going all right. So I'm gonna sleep. This room's a little dark though, so I'm gonna have to figure out some lighting for it. Right now, I see. For me, it's crazy. There's lots of storage space here, but it's all going to be sorted, so it's not quite as. I want to say I'm a little concerned about not having space for things, but that's more along the lines of not having a sorted slot for it. This wall over here, this group of 20 chests, is just unsorted storage. Everything that doesn't get sorted through here will end up over here. So that's going to be that fun. All right, and then we've got the hoppers that are going to go back behind it. Oh, which means I'm going to need 18 trillion more chests. 2, 3, 4. All right. Let's get some more chests. So there's another stack. Yeah, this is the one problem when you start building automated storage and storage rooms and things like that, is it just takes so many freaking chests and hoppers. And you know what? Fine. This should be enough. Which is great. It's just expensive. Okay. I mean, it's cool, but expensive. But this is why I have an iron farm, because I now have, just since I started streaming, another 18 blocks of iron here. So that's great. All right. So the plan here Okay, let's get all the hoppers in place. You've never done a big storage system in Minecraft? Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. You've seen how I handle just being organized, and I don't. My inventory is always a mess. My storage is always a mess. And when it's not a mess, I just hate how long it takes me to go through and sort my storage. It just annoys me, right? So I like having automated storage. And when I started in this world, I had a spot for where I was going to do automated storage. I was going to do it in that central room underneath the portal. But I jumped over and did into create mod and ended up not doing that. I mean, I still could, but now that I'm moving out here to the Badlands, I'm going to be building out here for a while. This, I think, is going to be my main storage. This is just where I'm going to be. So, hey, let's do that. Plus, I want to play with the copper golems. And this is what copper golems do, is they do storage. So, hey, Carp. How's it going? Glad to have you back. Hope you're having a fabulous day. All right, so let's go see what this looks like from the inside. It's going to be funky because I can't get inside. All right, yeah, because you can see all of the hoppers and stuff through there. All right, so I think what I'm going to do is we're going to double up on, or maybe triple up maybe on green terracotta. And then I need something back behind all of these hoppers. And I don't know what that's going to be yet, but something. But no, I really need automated storage. If I want to stay any sort of organized, I have got to do it. I've got to build something that keeps me organized. Am I excited for spooky season? No. But I don't particularly like Halloween, just in general. I like the candy. I'm all for the post-Halloween chocolate sales. But no, I'm not a fan. Okay. Cool. So that'll keep that going. This area is just like this, is it's just going to be a filler for shulker boxes. It's just a place where I can throw shulkers, keep them all sorted, and everything's going to be great. Or at least not necessarily sorted, but here. You like pumpkin spice. That's fair. I don't like pumpkin, but I do like the pumpkin spices on things, right? Like, I really should. Maybe I'm... definitely not in Gen Z. Not so much. No, I like the spices, and I could put them on my oatmeal in the morning because it would be perfect on fruity oatmeal. I just don't. No, I don't like the focus on... I don't like the focus on darkness and creepy and evil that tends to come with Halloween. That's just... I don't like that. Terracotta. Look at all the terracotta I don't have. There we go. There's some. Sweet. So, yeah, that's why. Like the everything seasoning. Okay. All right, let's see. I think I've got some green dye. Yep, green dye. Perfect. That's not green dye. That's firefly bushes. All right, I need... don't re-dye my black terracotta. That would be bad. However, I do want to get some more black terracotta, so let's do that. And I'm almost certain... Okay, I do have some black dye here. That's cool. I also have some other stuff here. You do without the dark and spooky, but you love the warm and cozy. See, that's fair. I like warm and cozy too. Yeah, someone was asking on Kick. Yep. It's like, hi. What? But no, I'm not. Oops, that's a die now. That goes up here. But no, I just don't. I don't like horror. I don't like creepy. I don't like any of that. And so. You like decorating people's social medias. Ah, sounds like you're about to try to sell me on your graphics design services, which will get you banned on Kick. So I would not do that. All right. I have no idea what you're talking about. Hey, no! Not my concrete! Okay. Oh, unless you're talking about Scooby-Doo. In which case, Scooby-Doo's all right. All right, so let's bring this down like so. But yep, I definitely do. I do my own graphics design. Not necessarily well, but I do it. Also because I don't have the cash to spend on having somebody else do it. Okay. So let's get all of this in place, which will give me a little bit of extra color around the edges of the chests. And let's see now. All right. So that should be looking a little bit better. I might have to go back one more, but given where those hoppers are, should be okay. So now here's the next question. What to put behind the hoppers? Because obviously you can see through that and that kind of sucks. So, I could come back through here. Right, and I could, right, just block all this out, right? Right, so if I'm looking at it this way, I could do that, and then you see the green behind it. But I don't think I like that. I want something that's a little bit, I want something that's a little more, I don't know, different. I want a different color. That's what it is. I just want something different. So, let's see. What would be good? I could put black terracotta behind it. Right? That's what I'm using for the ceiling up here. I know it looks brown, but it's black terracotta. So if I were to put black terracotta back here behind this. Okay. Okay, I'd free cam over, but I want to sleep, and the bed's over here, so. Okay. I think part of the problem is you've got the hoppers, and then you get the color as well, and it's a little bit funky. I don't know. Let's try something really crazy. Excuse me. Let's try something really crazy and get some resin. All right, so resin. All right. I happen to have a bunch of this, so let's give this a try. This is the other reason my inventory and my storage is always a mess, because I'll just grab different blocks to try them, and I don't want to stop whatever it is I'm doing to put them away. So if I could just throw them into the sorting system, then I don't have to worry about it. All right, so if I were to come do something crazy like resin, and that is definitely bright. Okay. I suppose I could also try like some deep slate behind there, which would match the color of the hoppers. Okay. So that gives sort of a bright, it definitely gives a bright something or other back behind there. Which isn't bad, but the hoppers are definitely a problem. Also, I am going to move this this wood and center it in the room. I'm going to take this this just grid pattern, and I'm going to slide it around so that it's centered. But we'll deal with that here in a minute. Let's figure out what's happening with this. Yeah, because I like this orange here. Now, if I want to play with more light, I could make that lava, but I'm going to have, this is going to be over here. We've got some light in the floor already. We're just going to need some other light in the ceiling, I think. Okay. But do I like that back there? I don't know. I don't know. Let's get, I don't think this smooth zone is the right color. Okay. I'm going to take this terracotta out. Okay. That probably ended up in a chest or two somewhere. That's fine. Yeah, that's significantly brighter than the hoppers. I don't know. Maybe deep slate? Like, just cobbled deep slate, perhaps? I don't know. I'm trying to decide if I want something that's bright and vibrant behind the... Or actually just regular deep slate, since I managed to mine up a bunch of that. Yeah, see, I don't know if I want something vibrant behind those hoppers. The problem is the vibrancy gets broken up by the hoppers themselves. Or if I want something that's going to blend in with the hoppers, so that the hoppers don't look quite as, I don't know, different. Okay. All right, unfortunately, deep slate is a directional block, so we'll place it like that. Now that's going to give us a little bit of texture because of the deep slate pattern. Yeah, see that? All right, hang on. I must eat. I must eat. All right, so if we've got something vibrant, and it doesn't have to be this color with the resin, it could be something else. But that's kind of okay. Or I could do just the deep slate here, in which case it all just disappears and we get gray back behind the chests. And I don't know what I like. Right? Because we're gonna see the hoppers regardless, right? We're gonna get those gray stripes, especially right at this level. Right? And that is what it is. Can't avoid that. But what else do I see back behind those hoppers? Or behind those chests? I guess, and behind the hoppers? I don't know. It's like... I want something that's got some color, but I think maybe I'll bring the color in here. Because we've got lots of this, right? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's do this. All right, let's get some resin. And let's just do the entire wall. We're going to just come back behind this entire block of hoppers. Okay. And let's just do the whole thing in resin. And then I can go do the entire... We'll do an entire section here. Okay. Do an entire section here of... Oops, I put all the deep slate away, because of course I did. was the thing to do at the time. You know, made all the sense in the world then. Deep slate. Okay. Let's take some deep slate back behind a second wall, and let's just see what it looks like for a full thing. Okay. Okay. Just gonna run the deep slate. We're gonna run it this way. Okay. All right. Resin does make a very nice temporary block, by the way, because you can just dig it up so fast by hand. All right. Let's come back through here and let's take a look. All right, so here's our orange wall. Okay. And there's the gray wall. There was a little flash of orange because of the... You can see the resin that's kind of there. We'll deal with that later, but... So the gray, it's just kind of... Right, so if you're up here at the chests, it's just gray. Okay. The hoppers don't really stand out against the background. Okay. Over here, you get all of this bright vibrancy back behind the chests. And I don't know which one I actually like. All right. Tell you what, chat. I'm going to drop back here. You can kind of see both of them. I'm going to go take a quick break. I need to go hit the bathroom real quick. I'm going to leave this up. So what I'm going to do is, let's see if I've got the stuff. All right, so I will be back in just a moment. I'm also unmuted, so that's awesome. All right, so the question then is, what do we like better behind the chests? Okay, do we like the bright and colorful? I said it doesn't have to be orange. I could change that color to be something else, but the resin is just so vibrant, right? Or do we keep it gray? And said if it's gray, so the hoppers don't stand out nearly as much, which is, there's a benefit to that, right? Because it doesn't look quite so crazy. This way, you get that gray stripe from the hoppers, but you get this gray right in between every chest because of the hoppers. But, you know, you lose it with the chest, right? If I come up and I want to get into a thing and I come back, right? I might also want to replace the floor under the chests. That'll be annoying, but not too crazy. Whip out the happy gas, come in underneath. All right, I think I'm going to do the gray. I like the color behind it, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the wrong color. I don't know. Now I'm confused. All right, tell you what. I'm going to leave it be for a minute. And let's... wow. I am totally out of scaffolding. I'm not totally out of scaffolding. I have like 2. This is what happens. I leave scaffolding all around the build so I can get back up and down places. All right. Let's grab some scaffolding. Get back up on top here. Of course, now I'm just going to fly, but that's all right. Now, while we're thinking about that, I'm just going to get some black terracotta. Let's finish the roof. Okay. We'll finish the ceiling in here, and we'll start doing some other design. Hi. You're here. Okay. Yep, you've got all sorts of mini blocks. Anything else interesting? Not especially. Okay. I mean, he'll sell me pale oak, so that's great. I mean, I have bunches, but, you know. All right. I don't need the mini blocks right this instant, so. Ack! We're going to fall. All right, so, yeah, that's... Okay, I just don't know. Actually, this doesn't need to be here. I mean, it doesn't hurt for it to be here, but it does need to be there. Okay. But let's just save a little bit on resources here. Okay, and so maybe I'll change my mind when I've got the ceiling in and all of that stuff. See if come back here. Come back here. Okay. And who knows? Ack. All right. That's fine. Let's get this ceiling in place. And now the nice thing about the way I'm building this ship, flying city, whatever this is I actually could replace the floors and the ceilings and everything separately, because the floor for the next level is 5 blocks up, so I don't have to worry about that, you know, where it's like, oh, I can't change this because I can't change the ceiling because it changes the floor above. And yeah, don't have to worry about that, which is good. But here I want this terracotta, so this is gonna have to move. Okay. All right, and that's gonna have to move. Okay. Yeah, and possibly all of that, but you know, we'll see how this goes. But in here now, okay, I now have the ceiling. Oh, I did not put any blocks up there. Let's see if I can reach that. There we go. Okay. All right, does that make a difference? Let's hang on, let's get a few slabs here. Not those slabs. Let's get a few pale oak slabs. Okay. Because those are going to go on top of the chests. You know, like you do. All right, so let's pop up here. All right, and this is just now in the way. It's all right. We don't. So I don't really need it back here. It'd be nice to save some of the resources. All right, but what? Okay, come on, you can do it. I want to cover that up so that it's. There we go. So all you see is the white through the chests. Okay. Now, what goes under the floor, or under the chest, right? Because you can see this white concrete under there. And I don't know if I want to keep that or if I want to replace it with something else, but... Okay. All right, so that's better. So we'll run the slabs all around the back of those chests, which is great. Yeah, it just feels like it needs a little something. And I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just being, I don't know, too something? I'm sure something. I'm being something. Fairly certain something is what I'm being. You know, when I was originally thinking of this design, like I was going to have this gas reactor, I was originally thinking I'd have the storage all the way around the outside of it, but that's not how it ended up working out. For multiple reasons, but there just ended up being a practical side of that ended up not making that, not letting that work the way I would have liked, well, the way it could have. I think what I'm doing I like better, but that still would have been an interesting thing. But he's okay. Oh, I think this is not. Yeah, this doesn't need to be here. Okay. All right. Yep, this doesn't need to be here. Again, saving a little bit on resources. Okay. All right, but all of this does. This is my one complaint about chests is that they're not solid blocks. So it just makes it, when you set up a wall of chests or something for storage, you end up seeing through the chests and into the back, whatever's behind them. And that's just annoying. Oh, I really do think I do like some color back there, though. Okay. So the gray's not bad. I mean, what I could do, this actually wouldn't be a bad idea, is I could color code it, right? So this is all gray. So for example, if I were to put all of the stone, for example, if I put all the stone over here, right? So it's stone and basalt and deep slate and all of that. Oh, it's the gray section. And if I want woods, for example, I could have, it could be something else behind it. And if I want the section here that's terracotta and glass and right, all of the colors, right, the wool and stuff, I could put that back behind here. And that would add a little bit of a visual thing. Little bit of a visual difference. Which I kind of like that idea. Honestly, that's not a bad idea. Because I'll have signs like over the top of each slice here that it's going to say, oh, this is whatever this is. Okay. Oh, this is oak and birch. Okay. And this is pale oak and dark oak. Okay, right? And I can just do that. But having colors for each section that say, oh, yes, that is a better idea. I like that. Oh, I like that. Okay. I don't know what the colors are going to be, but I like that plan. So, okay. However, I do need to bring this terracotta down along the sides here. All right. Now, what I don't know, and maybe what I'll do, is let's get this in place. And then what I need to do is kind of sort out the categories a bit, at least at a high level. And then I can decide what colors are going to go behind things. All right, that makes some sense. Okay. That definitely makes some sense. All right. We'll deal with the bulk storage here in a little bit, but, or maybe we won't deal with it. It'll just get dealt with at some other point. Okay. So, yeah. All right. So this is good. Now, it's in the back of this one. It's whatever's behind those trap doors. So, or behind those, it's the trap doors that are behind those. Those are words that I have said. And yeah, I'm going to have to replace this so that you can't see the hoppers. But I think that I might do, because we've got a bunch of stuff going on here, I might do it with something else. I don't know. Well, I've got options here. The only drawback is that when I replace this glass, it's going to cut some of the visibility down into the sides of the reactor, but that might be an okay thing. Okay? So we'll worry about that as we get closer. But all right. And yeah, I think I'm going to be changing up this grid a little bit. Definitely going to be changing it up in here. Okay. All right. So we're making some progress. Now there's some stuff I want to do that I can't right now, because I think what I want is copper bars sort of tucked into these corners. But copper bars don't exist yet, so that's going to have to wait. All right, let's go get some signs. Now, fortunately, I have 1.5 zillion pale oak signs, so we're going to go get those. Since I managed to make them in the mistaken thought that maybe they would actually help me. Or they would work in the farm that I was doing, or whatever. Turns out that's not what happened. Woohoo! All right. And then down we go. Yep, you got to make that jump onto the bridge. Otherwise, you end up not on the bridge. Okay. Also, I think on the villager level, I'm going to have hangar bays. Places where I can fly in and get into the base. But not down here. Down here, it's going to be something a little... Well, I mean, I might, actually. Because I was going to have, like, some big windows looking out into places. So that might be good, too. Maybe I'll leave it open. That'll be fine. That will be fine. What was I doing? Okay, I'm done with the slabs and the resin for now. What was I doing? I went over there for something. Oh, right, signs. I picked up something. What was it? Okay. Actually, we need probably a few of those. All right, so. All right, so we're just going to run this all the way across here. I think I'm going to bring them across here, though I don't know that I'm actually going to label anything here. But, you know, I think it'll look good. Now I could take some acacia, right? Because I'm using a lot of that orange out here. I could do acacia signs across this. I could do acacia signs across that. Oh, that. All right, hang on. I had thoughts. Do I have acacia? That's the next question. I might not. We might have to head back. Okay, I've got a few acacia signs. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, let's see what this looks like. I'm sure it'll be fine, but it's kind of nice. I don't know. Right, if I run this across here. So the difference is that it's easier, right? If I were to come over here and put in, say, this is oak and birch, okay? That text isn't too bad to read. I think I'll hit it with some glow squid and stuff like that. Which might be what I end up doing here too. And if this is, I don't know, let's call this one just stone. I don't know. Well, it is a little bit harder to read, but if I were to glow squid it, heck, it's just harder to read up there anyway. What if I were to run it across the top here like this? Or run it across the top at this level? That would be easier to see. All right. All right, I like this idea. But, take that out. What if I were to do this with the pale oak? Hang on. Where did I put it? Okay, so if I take the pale oak across here. You know what? Let's do it on this side where I actually have more of the decor up. Right, because I've got the wall behind it. Right, so I could do that. And I could then take... You know, there's an option in Tweakaroo to have it not prompt you for sign input. Oh. That, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. Bringing the orange all the way across. Just... that's not bad. I could live with that. And then if I were to come over here and say, this is oak and birch, right? That label is easier to see. Okay. Okay, that's not bad. And I suppose if I wanted to, I could take some trapdoors. Now, they could be pale oak. If I wanted to run them across the top here like so. Right. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, this is going to be... That's going to annoy me. Those are just going to be annoying. Because it would be nice to not do that, but I wonder if... All right, I'm going to have to go get some more acacia. I guess the other thing that I could use would be some copper. Ooh, that's an interesting possibility. The problem I'm going to have with copper is that I don't have any honeycomb, so I can't wax it. But that would be an interesting thought. Let's go. Let's come over here and grab some copper. Also, I'm going to see if I have acacia trapdoors here, which I don't think I do. Oh, I do. I do have some acacia trapdoors. Wonderful. And copper. Okay. Got a little bit of that. Let's turn this into copper trapdoors. This recipe is getting cheaper. Yeah, the copper recipe, I think the copper trapdoor recipe is turning into a 2x2 for copper trapdoors. I think. I don't know. There's one of those recipes is changing because of it duplicates a recipe that they also need for something else. All right, but if I were to take some, okay, let's take some acacia trapdoors here. Or actually, these are the copper ones. Maybe not have it say 4 all the way across the top. Okay. That's a possibility. Or if we were to come in with, say I use the, oops, that's still the copper. Take some acacia. Right? Right, if I were to come in with acacia, here, I'm going to take these off. Okay. Just so that I can run them across on this side. Yeah, that's a possibility. Actually, I kind of like this. I mean, I can... Oops. All right. So I could do something like that, right? We'll have the text going across here. All right. Which of those looks better? The copper or the acacia? These are the hard questions, right? This is why they pay me the big bucks. Ah. The acacia trapdoors at least match the signs going across the top. I really like that stripe going across there. That actually, you has opinion. Ooh, Snoopers, give me your opinion because I need opinions. Give me opinions because I am lost. I am lost in the lack of opinions. Okay, you tell me what your opinion is. Because honestly, I kind of like your option is the acacia. Okay. See, I like the shape of the copper, but I like the color of the acacia. All right. Well, that works. We'll go with the acacia. I'm going to have to go farm a crazy amount of acacia. Oops, that's copper. But that's fine. I've got a bunch of that. Okay, if that works, that works. See, I would love to be able to, right, put this here, and I can, right? It just means this bottom chest where everything's going into is a pain to get to. You like the shape and the color. Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I like the and then I have to farm. It's great. But see, I've given the sort of modern vibes here, I kind of like that X, but all right, hang on. Let me see if I'm going to actually do something really silly here. This might be too much, okay? This I could easily... I will do me, yes. All right. So... I kind of like that. What I would need to do is come in with dyes. Well, I think glow ink and dyes of any particular flavor would probably help. See, I kind of like the idea too of maybe dyeing the signs a little bit. So, like, oh, the redstone slice has red text and other stuff like that. But if I'm going to do this, though, even if I take out one of these rows, okay? Like if I take out this row of signs, then... Okay, hang on. Let's try this. Okay, and as I said, I am going to move this grid so it's centered in the room. So for all of you who are freaking out because it's off center, it's okay. I'm gonna move it. I think I like the left side. I think I like taking this off. Okay. Eating a golden carrot because that's fun too. Okay. And then, yeah, sometimes I kind of wish I could dye like one row of the sign and not all of them. Right? Well, that's okay. But if I do that, having the flat gray background is going to be a lot nicer than the noise of the color behind it. And I can still access these chests. I mean, I'm going to do that fairly often, but... Right, I can still access these chests and get stuff out of them. Okay. All right, that's definitely an idea. Oh, that's definitely an idea. Okay, sorry, my eyes itch. All right. All right, so let's see. I think the interior decorations here sort of determine what's happening behind the scenes. All right, so all of this is coming out. I have no inventory space. Hang on. Hang on, we'll figure out something. All right. Yeah. All right. Something is going to happen. I'm fairly certain. All right. I do think it's weird that sometimes things perch on the edge of hoppers. Don't actually do anything. Like they don't get sucked in or anything like that. That's, you know, it's a thing though. I guess I've been on the edge of my seat for watching movies and then just not get sucked in. You know, that's, so maybe it's not that weird. Okay. All right, yeah. He's just hanging out. All right. that is looking better. So the whole room is a little dark. Okay. I think what I'm going to do is get in here with some... Oh, actually, that might be good. Let me try to actually form actual sentences. Let's we'll get the floor, recentered in the room. But I think maybe taking some lightning rods and end rods down in these corners right here, I think that's going to be cool. Okay, and so I might take out these glass pillars too. I haven't fully decided. I mean, there's no reason for them to be in here now since I can't really see the reactor from here, but that would be an idea. That would be a thing. Okay. I like where we're going with this. I really do. All right. Other than the fact I'm going to need crazy amounts of acacia, this is going to be okay. All right. Nice. So what I need to do, let's get some inventory space back. All right. So all of that goes in there. That can go in there. Yeah, the bundle is just nice for holding some of those leftovers, right? Okay, so awesome. So that can go like so. We're gonna have to get some deep slate, which is okay. I've got some, but obviously not enough. All right, so this is all gonna come out. We'll replace that with acacia. All right. So we'll have to head back to the ancient city to get the acacia, but or at least to start farming, but that's not that big a deal. Okay. So all of that's coming off. All right. Yeah, I think we're definitely making some progress. All right, so we'll get this. Before we go do the acacia, I'm going to fix the floors. And then we'll... Oops. Then we'll see how everything else goes. Okay. Because I know I've got trees set up in the farming area, so that's going to be good. All right, and I think I'll go ahead and leave the white concrete underneath the chests. So that'll be simple enough. Okay. I'm going to go down there and pick all that up here in a minute, but... All right, so that's going to go there. This is going to come out this way. Okay. All right, and then all of these stripped logs are going to come out. All right, I'm going to have to get some... Well, I don't have to get some more. I've got... Whoa! Gravity. I have gravity. That's what I have. This is a gravity-rich environment, and... you know, what if the end just had... jump boost by default? Like, if the end is sort of spacey, would it make sense to have jump boost? That would be weird. Or slow falling. Now, slow falling they couldn't do because they want those crazy little critters to the shulkers to shoot you and help you, rapidly approach the ground. Crash out in all sorts of interesting ways. Okay. But jump boost might be fun. All right, so that's going to go that way. Actually, This will come out. Okay. This will come out. And it goes down there. This will come out. Also going down there. All right, I guess I'm going to go down and pick up some frog lights. Cool. All right, no, that's fine. Before I do that, though, let's just spam a couple of torches down, because I think there was some potential darkness. Oh, also, I didn't strip this. This all needs to go, too. No, as does that. Okay. Yeah. Because that's going to be where the frog light goes. All right. Yeah, well, there's lots of stuff that's going to get shifted around to... I should have cut out that stripped oak before I did that. That's okay. There might be some down there too, but I'm not going down there to get it. So there. It's fine. Mostly fine. All right, up. I can jump up on things. I can do it. I can. Okay. All right. Let's head back up. So yeah, the way this is going to work, the way I sort of have the vision of this is that I'm going to do... So I'm going to have storage on this level, villagers on the middle level, and then a couple of small farms on the upper level. Okay. That's facing the wrong way. Okay. So sort of the idea is that most of the entrances, like I'm going to move this, that's going to go up to the villager level. But yeah, I will have some hangars, I guess, coming in here. Okay, which will be fine. Okay. And then I had another thought. I was going somewhere with that. I don't know where, but I was going somewhere and it was probably going to be cool. But now I just don't know. All right, so this will drop down there because I want the frog light to go that way. All right. Same thing over here. That's going to go down. Frog light goes there. Okay. All right. So, going to sort this out. Because, yeah, I would really love to get this room all put together before we're done today. Don't think that's going to happen, but I would really like to. That's going to come out. Okay. And then that's going to go there. Do I have a frog light? Nope, they're all down in the bottom. Nice. Okay. Well, we'll just pop down there and get some stuff. All right. But yeah, anyway, so what all of that means is that I'm not going to have direct access up into the storage room from the ground. Now, the access will go up into the villager area, which I'm sure is going to be the safest thing for those villagers. Should be fine. Actually, I expect it'll be perfectly safe because mobs won't cross rails or things to get into the water stream, so that'll be good. But I'm going to put that water elevator, just the bubble vader, on the other side of this. This one is bringing up items. The other side will bring up people. And it's going to look cool. At least, I hope it'll look cool. We'll figure it out. It'll be fine. All right. Now, I may have lost a couple of stripped logs. That's okay. All right. So less okay is frog lights. There we go. Awesome. So this needs to be concrete. All right. Oh, that's... Yep, definitely lost some logs. Well, that's okay. I have plenty... Oops, over here. This is why you organize, so that you know where things are. At least that's what I keep getting told. All right, so that goes there. All right. Back. All right, so let's... All right. Cool, so this is now back to the same light levels it was at before. Okay. All right. Awesome. I think... Let's go ahead. I think I've got some planks here. Yes. If not, I can always make more planks because it's just how that works. But just run some planks across there just to keep that white stripe going all the way across the room. All right. All right. Cool. So I guess the next thing I'm going to need is the acacia. And possibly other things, but definitely the acacia. Anything else I want to do while I'm in here besides from sleep? You know, because sleep is a good thing. Should definitely do that on occasion. I don't think so. I need to get the deep slate along the back, but that's a problem for future me. Let's go ahead and... All right. We'll just stick it in there. It's not where I want it to be, but that's where it's going to go. All right. Cool. All right, well, I guess it's time to go farm acacia. Where are my rockets? All right. Well, back to the city we go. All right. Do I have another shulker? I do. Cool. Let's go put this one away. All right. Say, I don't want to put stuff away. I just want to stick it places. Now that's one of the things I could think about too. Is I don't know, having a barrel or something underneath each stack of chests for that I can just put shulkers of stuff, but I don't think I need to. I could just stick the shulkers into the thing. It's not that type of sorting system where I have to worry about it, so it'll be good. So while we're flying the friendly skies, up here, mornings are going well so far, or if you're not in the Western Hemisphere, whatever part of the day you do happen to be in, you know. All right. Yep, I should AFK the Froglight Farm. Oh, hi. You're in the wrong place, dude. Okay. Hey, we've got Netherwolf. Actually, Netherwolf sounds like a really cool addition to the game. Right? If you were to go into the Nether and find wolves of some sort, wouldn't that be cool? I think that would be cool. All right. Let's Start carving out some trees here. I do still have my hoe on me. Ah! Let's put that over here though. Okay. Of course, this is the Silk Touch hoe, but you know, that's okay. I don't know entirely why I've got so much, oh, that's getting into the cherries. That's why. Because the cherry trees are right there. That would explain that. All right. Oh, I was so bad at actually finding the bits of tree to cut down. All right. Acacia trees are such a pain to deal with. Because they grow at such funky angles. All right. All right. Let's just trim back this cherry tree a bit. Also, get that little bit of whatever that was out of the way. Okay. We good? Oh, yeah. There's... All right. I'm going to have to move my acacia setup, I think, because that's definitely a thing. All right. Not that having some extra cherry stuff isn't a bad thing either, but... Okay. Since we're farming this, let's go get some bone meal. Yo, I think one thing I'm going to do down here, I'm not entirely sure when, but I think one of the things I want to do is over here by the bone meal farm. I think I want to set up a bunch of small little bone meal powered farms for things like grass or sea pickles or something like that, and just feed it from the bone meal here. That would be convenience, you know? I said I don't know quite how I would have that run, but you know, just a couple of small things there to make that aspect of life a little bit easier. In the meantime, I should clean up some of this. Anyway, let's come up and farm some more trees, because this little thing of acacia log is not going to cut it. All right. All right, fine. We'll do it this way. All right, hang on. Acacia's... Jeez, acacia's one of those stubborn trees, I guess. All right. Well... This is what I was doing a little bit last night. I finished doing stuff for the podcast, and then I farmed some jungle trees and some ice. Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart. Acacia is one of those trees that, and it's hard to farm. Like if you were to set up a redstone to farm it, it's a little bit of a pain. Just because it grows in weird shapes. So it's not... All right. Heck. So yeah, it makes it hard to, if you're going to set up TNT or something to take down the trees. Yeah, it's just a pain. All right. And you don't get a huge amount of wood from each tree, so... Of course, I got kind of used to farming the big trees, the spruce and the jungle and the dark and pale oak, right? So I don't do a lot of stuff with regular oak. Birch isn't bad. I just don't tend to do a huge amount with it. All right. And more of this. All right, we're not going to spend too much longer on this. Maybe I'll just use up that bone meal. Okay. But we'll figure something out. But let's not lose the logs. I don't need all of the saplings, but also I'm going to have to go on an adventure here in the not too distant future, I think. When I was out, oh, it wasn't that long ago, I saw some really cute dogs out in, might have been out in the savannah. And I think I want to go try to find some of those. Yeah. Today, I don't think I'm going to do it today, but get some of those. Plus, I think I want to get a few cats. Since I do need to do my creeper farm. And I would like to do a flushing farm, but a cat-powered one might be easier. I ran into issues with cat-powered farms, actually. It was sort of a weird... If the creepers they'll spawn in, right? Because they're inside the despawn sphere. But if they're far enough away from you, their AI shuts off, which means they don't run from the cats. So they just sit there until they despawn. It's like, well, that's annoying. So I don't know. I'm a little bit torn how I want to approach that. Okay. Oh, night is falling. So let's just call it here. Anything else? Not really. All right. We'll throw the saplings here in the chest. I'll bring a few back with me. Just because. All right. And back into the nether. That was weird. All right. Anyway, let's get back this way. Okay. There's the AFK spot for the gold farm. Yeah, we're not doing any sort of shopping district in this server, so personal use is good. Yeah. I just am using a lot of rockets. Like a simple gas farm for gunpowder. That might... I've never built a gas farm. I don't think. That could be fun. I have a Soul Sand Valley right here by the Badlands. But I'm never in the nether, so the creeper farm is works a little bit better for me for passive. But I can see wanting to do why you'd want to do a creeper-based one. Or a ghast-based one. Because they're kind of fun. Yeah. It's so simple even you can make it. Exactly. So, yeah, it's... But I do like the idea of having... That's why I wanted to build the creeper farm over there. I said it's going to go in that mountain instead. Then it just generates a little bit of gunpowder while I'm here doing stuff. So let me put stuff away first. Oh, and you get end crystals. Yeah. Now, I don't do anything with end crystals, but they're cool. All right. Acacia. Okay. Put some of that in there. Some acacia leaves go in there. Cherry. Yeah, because I forgot to put cherry somewhere. Okay, the cherry is going to go in here with the pale oak. Cherry. Oh, caps lock. Cherry. There we go. They can be decorative. That's true. That is true. All right. Plants, seeds in there, mob drops. Goes there. All right. All right. All right. Oh. Let's copper. I'm going to need some more copper if I'm going to do stuff. Do I have... Oh, I do have some end rods. Perfect. Let's cook up a little bit of this copper. Okay. Uh-oh. I didn't refill those buckets. That's silly of me. Okay. Oh, I know why I didn't refill them. Okay. All right. It wasn't intentional. It's just, where do I feel like I ended up short? Oh, I feel like I ended up short a bucket. All right. Yeah, I just threw a couple more things in there that were not necessarily needed. Okay. Nope, we're good. All right, I think we've got enough acacia here. I even have an extra shulker box, so perfect. Okay, so we're going to have to do... Man, I'm going to have to go farm acacia. Oh, that's going to suck. All right, fine. Make it happen. All right. So, let's go ahead and grab this. Apparently, I've got some cherry. All right. All right, so I need some acacia signs, first of all. All right. I don't know if that'll be enough, but probably not. Okay, hang on, there is an option here. Not that one. Mods. Tweakaroo. All right, so there is a tweak for signs, I think. Place signs will use text from previous place signs. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. I don't know. There was a sign. Copy sign text. Also cool, but okay. No, there was just I don't know. It's a weird thing. Oh, disable sign GUI. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. It's a little cheaty. I freely admit. On the other hand, it's a lot faster. Okay. I can't edit these signs either. It's just turn the whole GUI off. Which is fine with me for now. So turn it back on in a minute, but okay. But it's just going to make placing these so much easier. All right, and now let's get our pale oak signs. All right, I'm going to go ahead and run them here as well, though there isn't really... Labeling that doesn't matter. It'll just be nice for the stuff here. Oh. I wonder. So I was going to put shulkers and stuff here, which is fine. And shulkers up there. I do need a place to put a crafting table and things like that. But maybe I won't worry about it. All right. All right, so mods. Tweakaroo. Sign. All right, and put the sign GUI back. All right, good. Now I can edit the signs. All right, so cool. So that's going to do that thing. Now I'm going to need trapdoors. Okay, which is fine. This is again one of those times where, hey, we went a little crazy and cheated on the sign recipe, so, or the trapdoor recipe. That isn't going to work at all. I mean, it could, but it just makes the top row even harder to get. And the reality is, I'm not going to be able to reach I'm probably never going to be really using the top row, but at least I can reach it without opening the trapdoors. And okay. Okay. All right, we'll get all of these going across here like so. Maybe not quite like so, but like so. Doing it on time. Okay. Might actually be able to get this done by the time I have to stop. Getting close. Getting close. All right. Oh, yeah. Flip these up. All right. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to need some. Oh, I'm going to need some lightning rods. I'm going to need a lot more than that. But the way I want to do this, let's get some of this. All right, so if I take some resin, see the problem with lightning rods is they go the wrong way. I want the fat end at the top. Okay, so I've miscalculated. That's okay. Oops, that goes there. And then I want this to be, darn it, I can't. See, that's backwards. I want to reach underneath it. I mean, I guess I could do it that way, right? Because if I'm coming in with end rods like that, that's actually not bad. And then actually, that would be a perfect place for a copper bar, but I don't have a copper bar, so I'll have to wait. Wait until the next update. All right, but let's get that copper that was cooking over here. Okay. Hey, let's maybe repair my axe a little bit while we're doing this. All right. And I think I've got some iron bars here. Yeah. Cool. So then I think what I'm going to do offline is I'll go through and figure out what each of these slices is going to be. But, okay, so let's go ahead and craft up something like that. That's probably too many, but it could also be not enough because I can't count. Okay. Okay, we're going to start with iron bars. Okay. That's annoying. I just want the straight bars. Darn it. Well, okay. That's going to be glass. It's not going to be iron. It's going to be white glass. I have glass. I don't know if I have any white glass. Okay, glass, glass, glass. Ooh, I even have some white stained glass. Never mind. We're all good. Everything's great. We are totally fine. The glass is also going to do that thing where it binds to the walls. So maybe this is going to be wrong, but we're going to try it and see. I don't know. I don't know if I like it or not. I do like the end rod business here. But I don't know if I like the glass. I mean, the glass is okay. Don't get me wrong. It's fine. But I don't know. And actually, copper bars wouldn't work here for the same reason the iron bars don't. What I want is just the straight thing. Okay. And I could put another end rod there. Like, if I come over here, let's get this all in place first, right? I could put these end rods here like that. And I could put more end rods like so, right? Or actually, like so. I like that better. I don't like the little notch you get in it, but... And there's actually a resource pack I could use to take that notch out, but... It's okay. I don't want to get too crazy. I like kind of staying with vanilla, you know, because vanilla's good. I like vanilla. Okay. All right. That's definitely lighting this up. I'm going to go ahead and take these pillars out. Okay. One of these chests had the terracotta in it. Yep. Okay. All right. All right. So that's going to go there like so. All right. Now, I'm going to need some other things here. So let's go ahead and move these shulkers. All right. And just going to stick them here on the wall. So that's what this wall is for just loading up with shulkers and stuff. Okay. But the last thing I need, I am going to need a place for ender chests. All right, hang on. Let's try this. What if I were to stick ender chests underneath each of those? Right, if I were to stick an ender chest right here, for example. I mean, it's there, it's accessible. I might change out the concrete, like that might become green concrete and bring that down. That's a possibility. I could also set some stuff up here in the middle, which might be okay too. Okay, hang on. I need to go pick that up. Okay. Whoops. Somewhere down here. Somewhere down here. Right over this way. Okay. Did use the right thing. All right, hang on. Hitboxes. Ah, there it is. Okay. Found it eventually. It's all good. Yeah, this is going to be really cool once I get it all sort of sorted out, but get the bottom of this thing designed. It'll be fun. Okay, so let's go and put that back. Though even that might be better as the strips. Yeah, it would be. All right. Okay. That's fine. I have some steep slate. This is why you sort things. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Everything's going to be great. We're just going to take that out. Okay. That goes there like that. All right. All right, and then I take the trip back down there to pick up that that concrete, because concrete is expensive. Also, gravity. Gravity is definitely a thing that does bad things to my ankles when I disrespect it. Kind of like a vengeful mob boss. I don't know. Is that I could see that. You know, it's a nice building you had there. It'd be a shame if gravity happened to it. Yeah, I could see it. I could see gravity just being that sort of, you know, that sort of old school mob jerkface type thing. You know, not to say that everyone in the mobs are jerk faces. It's just some of them don't necessarily treat you with the respect that you would hope. Yeah, and now hopefully the mob will not come after me, because that would be bad. All right. At least now I've got a good use for all of this deep slate that I accidentally mined. Come on up. Because I was using Silk Touch instead of. Okay. Okay. Yeah. See, that's gonna look. That's looking good. It gives a solid view back there. We don't get any of this weird light leakage, whatever's happening on the backside of all of these hoppers. This is good. All right. Okay, I've got enough to do this. Then I need to go see if I've got more of this over here. I probably have some more just garden variety deep slate in the ancient city, because that's where I would have most of my deep slate, actually. But I did bring a shulker or two with me, so we'll see how that goes. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's go see if I've got some deep slate over here. I have deep slates, non-cobbled varieties. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, see, I've got a little tough here too, but cool. That should do it. That should cover what I need to over here. All right. Okay, so that pops up that way. Uh-oh. Up and up. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be nice when it's done. Just have a little bit of backdrop here. This is one of those, I don't always do this for my storage rooms, is fill out the space behind the hoppers. But this is one of those times where I really wanted that little extra detail. Also, I think I just dropped a bunch of scaffolding up here. I did. I think it's now in those chests. Okay, cool. All right, I guess I should leave some scaffolding back here just to be able to get back up there. All right, that's going to be there for the same reason. All right. Now, I still have not solved this problem, but of what I want to do for the trapdoors on the backside here. If I just want to leave it spruce or something else, but I just worry that acacia is just You can see through it, and I don't want that. So, all right. Now, that's the other thing I want to have in here somewhere is crafting tables. Right, so I'm gonna need a crafting table, probably smithing table of some sort, maybe. I don't know, grindstone, something along those lines. But that's gonna be awkward. Oh, or maybe not. I mean, I kind of like that, but now I was just thinking I could put not a grindstone, but a stone cutter under here. The wheel would come up a line and basically touch this, but I don't think it would. Just have the one on me. I don't think it'll work really long term. So, okay, bed's gonna move because I think I'll figure out a better place for sleeping, but it's gonna be out here somewhere. Now, as I said, it would be handy to have crafting tables in here, but I don't know a place where I could put them where it would still look good. So we're gonna not do that. But all in all, this is looking pretty nice. The lights sort of gets a little dim, but the room itself is looking pretty good. So yeah, so as I go along here then and I start lighting some things up, I think this is going to be cool. Kind of wondering, see what I could do too along these signs. As I could, do something sort of neon like. I could light them up, right? Hit them with glow squid, use some magic text so they look like they've got, I don't know, some sort of fun neon goodness going on there. But I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. But I think this is good. All I have to do is sort out where all the items are going to go. And this, which would be my main storage room, is done. So I just have this bulk storage, but that's fine. And until the copper golem comes in, this will all be sorted manually, but that's okay. All right. I like it. I like it. I think we've got ourselves a nice little room. It gets a little weird walking over the frog lights because they get that sort of squishiness to them. It almost, when you only get one step on it, it almost feels like static, which is strange, but okay. No, this is good. I'm pretty happy with the way this has turned out. So yeah, it'll just be a matter then of coming through and labeling all of it, and I've got a fair amount of glow ink, so I can light all of this up as well, but no, it's good. The only thing I don't like about having a room this size is it takes a while to get across the room. But that's something I think we can solve with some speed beacons or something like that. But all right, cool. Well, I think that is going to do it for me today. This was all sorts of fun. I like storage rooms. It's for someone who is really disorganized, storage rooms are definitely something I like having functional. Also, things and people I like having are my supporters over there at musicfreegaming.com. You just saw them scroll by. Those people are awesome and amazing. If you want to become a supporter, go to musicfreegaming.com and sign up at any of the paid levels to show up in that list as it scrolls by. You also get some other perks, so check that action out. Next stream will be Tuesday, 6 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time, so I hope to see you there. Snoopers, you have a great weekend. Everybody, have a great weekend, and until next time, be excellent to each other. And this is Music Free Gaming signing off.